Hey, I'm Audrey. Today, we are going to learn how to code our own Google Sheets to keep track of our cryptocurrencies. I know that there's plenty of apps out there, but don't you think it's really cool if you can do it yourself and you can customize it any way you want it to be? As a start, we'll learn how to code our Google Sheets to automatically track the latest prices from different exchanges. We'll start off with Gemini. You can use USD to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum from this exchange. I know that there is plenty of exchanges out there. The good news is that once you learn this, you can actually apply this to different exchanges. Not all, but there are some exchanges that are very similar. Or if you really want to, you can actually leave a comment and make a request. So now, open your Google Sheets and let's start coding. For those of you guys who do not know what this is Google Sheets. Firstly, we need to have a good idea what information should appear here. For me, I would like to know the price of Bitcoin. So the quote is BTC, the base is USD, price is where we are going to be coding it out, and the exchange, let's start with Gemini. Now let's head to Tools and choose Script Editor. You'll be able to get this. I've named this prices and I have a Gemini code file, gemini.js. Google Sheet uses Google Script, which is similar to JavaScript. So if you know JavaScript, that's great. But if this is your first time coding, it's okay. Just follow along and I'll guide you through. So we are going to be writing some code here and package it under this function called getGeminiPrice. The first thing we want to do is to be able to get Gemini's API endpoint. Let's check out Gemini's API docs. It is common for exchanges to have APIs, and we can use these APIs to get information from the exchanges. You can even do a lot more than just getting information. You can trade as well. So anyways, there are a lot of information that we can see here that you can obtain through Gemini's API. So today, we'll be using the public API endpoints. So to get the latest price, I'll be using the ticker endpoint. So on the right, you can see how it's being used. We can see that we'll need to actually put this BTC USD to replace the symbol here. And if you use it correctly, you should be able to get all this information. For us, what we want is this particular information, last, which is the price of the last executed trade. Copy this, and I'm going to be creating a variable called URL. We're going to put this in. So we need to change this to BTC USD. We want to be able to see what our program is doing. So the way to go about it is to use this called logger.log. And you put URL. Let's see what it runs. Log. Great, it is returning the URL to us, but that's not what we want, right? I want the information within the URL. So the way to go about this is to be able to fetch the API endpoint. So I'll create a variable called response, and I'm going to use this to fetch. Right, I'm going to use logger.log, and this time I'm going to see what is inside response. Run log. Great, we are one step closer to our goal, but we are still not quite there yet because this is not the correct format. So let me just show you what the correct format look like later on. So pay attention to this. So I need to change this to a correct format. So I need to change this to a correct format. And the way to go about this is to use I need to change this to the correct format, which is the JSON format. So I'll need to do this. I'm just going to create a variable name called JSON response. Just keep in mind that, it doesn't really matter what you name it, but you just need to name it meaningfully. And I'm going to change the format of my response to JSON. So just to show you how it looks like and what's the difference. Run it. Remember to always save it. And let's see the logs. Awesome. Do you see the difference? There is like quotes here and there isn't any quotes here. So this is the JSON format. Now that we already have what we wanted, the correct format, it's time to get this particular information out. To extract the latest price, I would need to do this. Let's use this. Get latest price. Let's try it out with logger.log and JSON response.last. This is how we can get the information out. So what's last? Let me just show you. Last is this. So by putting .last, I should be able to get this information out. Let's give it a try. Let's run. And let's see. Awesome. This is what we want. We are getting the latest transacted price right now. So the way to actually return the value to the Google Sheets later on is by writing return JSON response.last. Okay, so are you ready now? Let's give this code a try. I'm just going to copy this. And let's see. Equal to get Gemini price, the exact same thing. And let's see if it works. Ta-da! It works! You have just wrote a code to actually get the latest price from Gemini. To update your price, you need to refresh your page. So in this way, let's see what's the latest price. Okay, so this is the latest price. In the future, we'll be able to write some code to actually kind of like update it by itself without you refreshing the page, but that's for later. I know that Gemini has other currency pairs, for example, ETH, USD, as well as ETH, BTC, right? I would love to be able to type in ETH here and it will automatically change to the ETH price. Currently, it doesn't, right? So how do we do it? So now let's go back to our code and see what we can do. I want to be able to obtain the quote and the base from here. So I want to be able to get the currency pair. Thus, I'm going to create a variable called currency pair. And it's going to take in the quote as well as the base. So let's test it out. I'm just going to create this out here first. Quote that takes in ETH and base that takes in USD. And the currency pair will be quote plus base. So let's check this out. Let's comment this out because we really do not want to see this stuff. Look. Great. The currency pair is returning ETH USD. So basically it just concatenate or it just, put both of these two together. Then we need to be able to use this to replace this. One way to do it is to do this in the same way, plus currency pair. So now I would like to see how my URL look like. Okay, because I just made the changes. Save it, run it, And let's see the log. Great. See this? Okay, so now let's check out the JSON response. We have to run it. Log. They are using ETH this time around, and for us, our goal is to be able to get this. So let's take a look at this. Save it, run it, and let's check it out. Awesome. We're getting the right things that we want. For now, we are still hard coding our code, as you can see, but we do not want to hard code it. So what can we do? So we already know that this works, and this works really well. So what we need to do is to put in parameters into this parenthesis. So basically, I would need to be able to get the quote as well as the base. So let's not use this tool now. This is just for us to test our code. Okay. Save it. If you run it, you realize you can't really use it here now. Because nothing is going into quote as well as space. So what we need to do is to go back to our sheet. Go to equal, get Gemini, price, and let's put the currency in. You need to follow up with a comma, remember that. Finally. So let's try it out for other things like BTC, USD, ETH, BTC, and just drag it down. You should be able to get everything up. Check this out. So this is the price of ETH in USD, the price of BTC in USD, and this is the price of ETH in BTC. Now that you have learned how to use the API to get the information that you want, you should definitely try it out with the other exchanges. I realized that Bitfinex as well as Coinbase has rather similar API protocol as Gemini. So what it means is that you can use the code with a little bit of tweaks and you can get the latest price. So what I did here is that I wanted to get the price differences across exchanges. So I've used the API to get the latest price for Bitfinex, Coinbase as well as Gemini, and I did some math. So be creative and try it out. Well done for coding your first program. If you like this or you know someone who will benefit from it, feel free to share this. Next up, I'm thinking of Binance. It is a great exchange for altcoins. If there's any special requests or questions, feel free to comment. You can also check out my friend's website. It's called coinapps.co. He has pretty much built the entire cryptocurrency tracking sheet. Definitely go check it out. And that's it, guys. See you!